joining me in studio to talk about a story that's picked up at least a little momentum here locally. It's a story about ambulance service here in Lubbock, and the public information officer with University Medical Center, Eric Finley. Welcome
Thanks,
to the
Chad.
show. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
Great. Thanks for coming in today. Tell listeners a little bit of the background on this, because this is something that the City Council has been talking about for a while, really. It's been a topic for a while. But the City Council, it was a big topic the last meeting.
Yeah, it was, and they're going to pick it up again at a special meeting on tomorrow at noon. UMC EMS has provided EMS service to Lubbock County for 40 years. It's been the sole provider. Since 1984, it's been the sole provider within the City of Lubbock, and that has renewed on an annual one-year agreement. Cities can choose who does EMS service within their municipality. We've done that every year since 1984, auto renewals every April, one-year agreement. This time we asked for a 5-year commitment exclusive to UMC, and the reason we did that is we've heard, obviously, this was an issue in the 2012 mayoral race where Tom Martin at the time said he wanted Lubbock Fire and Rescue to start running EMS. Mm-hmm. We've been aware of for, several months at a minimum that Covenant's been wanting to jump into the game and start doing EMS. In that scenario, it's hard to run an EMS service on an annual basis when you don't know if the money you're investing right now is going to be worth anything in 8 to 10 months. And so we'd like a 5-year exclusive agreement. Let us commit to the things we're doing now. It would also give the city more time to decide if they want to do go a different direction in the future. So that's what we're talking about. The City Council will have a special meeting tomorrow to appoint a subcommittee because they didn't want to make a decision Thursday night. So they'll have a subcommittee and they'll keep studying it.
Well, what are the arguments? You hear from the Covenant officials that, hey, if there are two providers, then that'll cut down on time. It'll better serve the citizens. It's something where and the more services, the better. Is that argument wrong?
I think so. If you look at the top 15 cities in the state of Texas, no one has a dual service. You don't split up fire departments. You don't split up police departments. It's hard to make that work. Las Vegas, Nevada has a dual service, and they have lawsuits and complications all the time. In fact, there's 2 pending lawsuits last year over deaths that were blamed on this dual service and who responded. So it can be messy. This is really about patient transports. Mm-hmm. For 35 years, when more people were getting in ambulances and choosing to go to Covenant, this wasn't an issue. But what we've seen is a shift in market share over the last few years, and now 60% of people getting in ambulances are saying, take me to Lubbock Heart, take me to Grace, take me to UMC. And now Covenant has an issue with the patient safety aspect of this. And really this is about patient transports, who's getting to what hospital, and Covenant has concerns they're not getting enough transports. In
your mind, why is it so hard to make a dual service work? Because I think, when people look at a regular business and they hear, okay, well, if you have one business versus 2 business, competition normally better for the consumer. What you are arguing is not necessarily in this case.
No, and that's true because you would have to. There are a set number of people in Lubbock who use EMS. I mean, there's it's not like there's an catered to segment of the population out there. We do 36,000 calls a year. That'll go up and down a little bit, but that's about it. You'd have to have dual dispatch services. You'd have to have dual number of drivers. I mean, it would actually increase the costs across 2 organizations to have it. It's not like they're going to go get a brand new pool of people seeking that service. Mm-hmm. From a dollars and cents perspective, it would be difficult to determine how that line is drawn. You don't want an EMS service cherry-picking only the funded patients, only, Southwest Lubbock patients. You got to have an EMS service that's willing to go into, East Colgate Avenue at 1:30 a.m. on a Saturday morning and pick up patients, and into dangerous areas. So you want to have – it works best when you have one service that's covering everybody and don't have it divided up and the potential for cherry picking here and there.
So why is it that with the City Council that all of a sudden now it becomes an issue after a couple of years?
I think really Covenant has brought this forward. Like I said, we've seen overall market share in Lubbock hospitals change quite a bit. You go back 15 years, 60% of all hospital patients were going to Covenant, 30% were going to UMC, the rest was spread out. Now it's about 48% are going to Covenant, 42% are going to UMC, and the rest is spread out. So Covenant's looking for patients. And EMS service could potentially bring more patients if they offered their own. That's difficult to say because every patient has a choice where they want to go. Right. They're asked, they sign a waiver. So that's why it's come to the forefront. And the city council wants to make the right decision, what's best for the city, and we'll participate in those conversations, but we're going to still push for the 5-year agreement.
What is, as far as the 5-year agreement goes, what's the benefit to, I guess, the citizens out there?
I think it's stability. The median tax bill includes $123 in the city of Lubbock for the Lubbock County Hospital District. And so what that money goes to, obviously, is unfunded care, but you can also argue that it goes to EMS service. So we feel like it's being provided pretty inexpensively. We want to make sure those dollars are used in the best way possible. And so we want to have a 5-year plan in place to figure out where we want to build stations. We built a new one on Milwaukee last year. We're building a new one this year on 114 and Quaker. We bought 18 ambulances in the past couple of years. So you want to make sure that we're using those dollars wisely and that we're not buying equipment and hiring personnel and building buildings that aren't going to be used in 14 months.
Well, right now, what is the, response time?
It's about 6 minutes. It's lower than the state average. It's lower than the national average. We've amended our 5-year agreement with the council. We have asked to amend it and saying, you know what, we'll include some benchmarks and standards that have to do with response times, patient safety, and patient satisfaction, all of which we feel very confident we'll meet. We're above the national averages in all of those areas. And so if that would make them more comfortable, we're willing to do that.
How can citizens get more information if they want more on this issue?
We're going to put a lot of information on our website, umclsystem.com. There is already some information there about EMS, but we'll be adding some more as well as this issue comes forward. And obviously the City Council will be meeting on this tomorrow at noon, so that'll be available. The City Council meeting that happened last Thursday obviously plays on the City channel, so they can watch that debate as well.
All right. Eric, thanks for stopping by.
Of course. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Chad Hasty Show, News Talk 790 KFYO.